After months of speculation, weeks of willy won't we are down to the final day. It's transfer deadline day and there's expected to be some business involving West Ham United. These are the current updates and we're going to kick it off with Maxwel Cornet. He is likely to join Southampton on loan. There's some interest from Burnley and Everton. However, Southampton sounds like they've got a deal done with West Ham. So it will be a loan. West Ham will receive a fee for that loan deal. There's a survival bonus in there as well, so Southampton avoid relegation. West Ham get paid more regardless of Maxwel Cornet's involvement this season. And lastly, there will be an option to buy in the loan deal. Not an obligation, so the Saints will not have to sign him next summer, but a fee will be agreed today so that if he is a success, likely to stay up and they want to keep him at Southampton next season, they know exactly what they have to pay to get this done. Cornet obviously posted on Instagram on Wednesday night when we were taking on Bournemouth. He put up an Instagram post basically with some music on there suggesting he's moving on, wasn't included in the squad whatsoever under Lopetegui's first 3 games. So it makes sense and I hope he goes, I really do. I was excited when we signed him. It hasn't worked out. There's various different reasons as to why it hasn't worked out. I think he's got to take some of the blame. I think the club, I think Moyes, I think everybody has contributed to this transfer not working at West Ham. But I would genuinely wish him all the best if he goes to Southampton. I think it's a good deal for him. I think it's a good deal for the Saints because if they can get the Burnley version out of him, he will contribute goals and assists to them this season. When I look at that Saints team, they're lacking a little bit of firepower. I do think they need to get 1 or 2 attackers in today. Maxwel Cornet looks like he's going to be the man for that. Moving on to James Ward-Prowse. Now there's 2 clubs here, Southampton and Nottingham Forest. I'm going to rule out Southampton immediately because assuming they get Cornet on loan, and let's put it this way, if Southampton came to West Ham and said, can we loan Cornet and can we loan James Ward-Prowse? There's only one of those deals we're going to be keen to accept, Cornet. And the reason we won't be keen to accept the Ward-Prowse one is because of the limit. Premier League clubs are only allowed to loan 2 players from other Premier League clubs. They've already got one from Chelsea. I'm not going to pronounce his name, don't know how to say it. Google it, it's a Chelsea midfielder. He's on loan at the Saints. So they've only got room for 1 more player on loan from a Premier League club. Obviously, that will be Maxwel Cornet. So these links of James Ward-Prowse going on loan to Southampton, personally, I'm ignoring them because it can't happen unless they don't go for Maxwel Cornet. However, I do believe that transfer rumour. So that leaves Nottingham Forest, and he has been linked to Nottingham Forest for the last couple of days, but the update regarding West Ham's stance is that they're not keen on selling James Ward-Prowse. There's no desire to move him on. However, they're open to offers, which I think you could possibly apply to pretty much every player in the squad. But I like West Ham's stance here. It sort of retains the negotiating power a little bit, whereas with the likes of Cornet and Ings and Aguerd, we're desperate to get rid of these players. Everybody knows it. It's a little bit bargain bucket time at West Ham today. But in regards to James Ward-Prowse, because of the stance the club are taking, which is, well, we don't want to sell him, we're open to offers, I think that maybe retains his value a little bit. And I think the club are being honest with that, which is, well, if he's still here tomorrow, fine, he's part of Lopetegui's squad and we will use him this season. I'm sure he will get minutes under Lopetegui. Might not start every week, but I think he'll start some games and come off the bench in others. So I think he will be part of the squad and get plenty of minutes. Again, not so sure. I can say that about Cornet, Aguerd and Danny Ings, but certainly for Ward-Prowse. However, if Nottingham Forest were to rock up and put 20 million down on the table, I think West Ham would want to cash in on that one actually. So I like what the club are doing here. Nottingham Forest would be a good move for him. And again, best of luck to him. I think he was alright last season. I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was fantastic. I think it was a decent season by James Ward-Prowse. I felt we overpaid for him. I still feel like that. But if we can get a majority of the money back, it's not the end of the world. And we can move on to somebody else. And that someone else we'll discuss in just a second. So likely, Cornet goes to Southampton. James Ward-Prowse ain't going there. I don't think this transfer goes through. My prediction is Ward-Prowse is still at West Ham tomorrow. I just think the price we demand will be a bit too much for what Nottingham Forest are perhaps willing to pay. I think this is a case of, are Nottingham Forest willing to panic buy here? Are they willing to pay more than they should do to get James Ward-Prowse? Because I think that's what they're perhaps going to have to do to persuade us. Now, moving on to a couple of other players leaving, plus one player that could join West Ham today. I think he will join West Ham today as well. But before we do that, I just want to point in the direction of tonight's show. We are live from 9 p.m. this evening through until the window closes at 11 o'clock and maybe a few minutes afterwards as well. We've got some special guests lined up, including a former West Ham manager. If I said to you, transfer window, who do you think of? It's him. He is on the show tonight. We've got a couple of other faces you'll recognise as well, some West Ham celebrities as well as some people from other West Ham YouTube channels. So we're live from 9 to 11 p.m. tonight, so do come and join us. But the summer transfer window has various different deals going on, especially deadline day. You get those looking for a bargain, you get those panic buying, loan moves, etc, etc. Well, we've got a bargain for you. You can get your own transfer deadline day deal here on Hammers Chat, because this video is in collaboration with Manscaped. Now, I'm going to say the C word. Yes, I am going to say the C word. Not that one. Christmas. Not, you were thinking of bad-minded. Christmas is the word I'm thinking of. I got reminded the other day. Someone said to me, it's only 4 months till Christmas Day. That doesn't feel long away. So, I know you're thinking, oh, there's no way I'm doing Christmas shopping in August, Gio. But if you did, if you just got one gift, come October and November, everybody's running around in a frenzy, a bit like some clubs are today. You can kick back and relax knowing that you've got the gift for your man already. It's been sorted and you've got a good deal on it as well. You saved 20% and you got free shipping as well because you watch Hammers Chat. So if you go to Manscaped, put in the code Hammers Chat Pubes, yes, Hammers Chat Pubes, all one word, you will save 20% off, plus get that free shipping. And Manscaped have the tool for every single job you need when it comes to male grooming. So treat the bloke in your life, or treat yourself. Manicure that beard, get rid of your pubes and have a good looking penis for the remainder of the year. And get rid of those hairs from your ears and your nose as well. And you can do it with the benefit of 20% off. Links in the description below, or just go to manscaped.com, type it in yourself, but use the code HammersChatPubes to get that 20% off. So look good, feel good, and relax ahead of Christmas. Nayef Aguerd, he's someone that can't relax, he needs to leave. There's a club from Saudi, I forgot who it is, perhaps Al Ittihad. They seem to be one to... Whenever a Premier League player gets linked away to Saudi, it's just Al Ittihad, isn't it? Just link them to them. So, Aguerd's agent's in Saudi. We know this because it's the same agent of Kurt Zouma, who's completed a medical, actually. I might as well do the Zouma update now. Zouma has completed a medical. The club are just tying up the last minute details, but it will be a loan, and West Ham will be paying some of his wages whilst he is on loan. So, yes, that's right. Zouma is going to Saudi, the richest country in football, and we are subsidising his wages while he's there. Anyway, he's completed his medical, so that's going to happen. Zouma's gone. In terms of Aguerd, he's been a bit picky, which is fine. He's entitled to do so. But Saudi is one destination that's never been ruled out. Bundesliga, he doesn't want to go there. It's always been fans of Saudi. So the deal is a loan move. So West Ham would receive 4 million. And it's a loan with an obligation. So unlike Cornet, they will have to buy him next summer for 21 million. Obviously, quick maths, 25 million for West Ham. So it's not the end of the world. We've still got 25 million on the books in terms of PSR. We've got 25 million on the books remaining for Nayef Aguerd. So we can get rid of him for 25. It just gets him off the books in terms. So it's good business. 10 million less than we paid, but it clears the PSR allocation to the Aguerd transfer. So he's likely to go there. Now the dilemma for West Ham is the Saudi transfer window does not close until next week. So it's 11 o'clock tonight for England and a majority of countries. But for Saudi, it's next week. So West Ham are going to have a decision to make here. Are we going to bring in another centre-back today? And if we do, it'll likely be Chalobah of Chelsea if we can get something sorted there. And hope Aguerd leaves. Do we not bring in a centre-back and then Aguerd could go and then obviously... Well, we don't have to accept it. We'd assume the club would still sanction that sale. Then we've only got 3 senior centre-backs. It's a bit risky. West Ham have got a little bit of a dilemma here, and it's because that Saudi transfer window shuts next week. So I think Aguerd will go, and I think Zouma will go. Danny Ings I don't think will go. He's available, and I think he's available on a free. There's just nobody coming for him. His wages is obviously a hefty financial package. No club wants to take that on. So I think Ings will still be here tomorrow. And there was talk by Jacob Steinberg earlier this week that West Ham would debate ripping his contract up, paying him just to leave the club. We'll wait and see if that happens. We'll wait and see. The thing for Ings is he needs to be a free agent before the end of the transfer window. I think there's a slight complication. If we rip up his contract in September, I think that causes problems for him joining a club as a free agent. I could be wrong on this one, but if you're a free agent before the window closes, I think it's just 10 times easier to go and join a club. You are a free agent. I'll double check those rules and come back to you later on, but I think there's a bit of a thing there, if I remember correctly. Now, moving on to the player that's most likely, and possibly the only player that's likely to join West Ham today, is Carlos Soler. We all know who he is, midfielder from PSG. We've been waiting a while to get this one done. It feels like that loan's been set up. It's a loan with an obligation to buy, €25 million. We'd have to pay PSG next summer. And the reason for the delay has always been that West Ham need to shift Kurt Zouma plus one other. Now, I'm not buying the squad spaces. There's space in the squad, right? So it's not that. It's probably just wages. It's probably because Soler's going to come in on decent wages. So we need to get the equivalent off the books before we bring him in. Do you know what? Makes sense, right? It makes sense. We've done some big business this summer. I've no doubt our wage bill's greater today than it was in June. So it makes sense. So Zouma's going. I think Aguerd will go. I think Cornet will go. And I think Soler will join. That's my predictions for today. 3 out, 1 in. Hope the centre-back thing's a bit of a different one. I think we're going to see a lot of links to defenders today. And I think Chalobah will be the main one. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and disappear. Thank you very much for joining me. 9 o'clock tonight, come back to this channel. We are live from 9. And the former West Ham manager is on at the start of the show. And we've got guests throughout the 2 hours. So hopefully you can come and join me in the live chat. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll see you then.